Hello my people, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. My name is Kaniyane Emmanuel Dofia, and today I intend talking about poultry management. What is the essence of poultry management? For me, my understanding about poultry management is about caring for the poultry, caring for birds, caring for chicks. That's what I see as poultry management. So no matter how it's been defined, it all ends up on how you cater for the birds you are taking control of, you're watching over. So that's poultry management. So poultry management can be broken down into different stage category. But out of this stage, that's when we talk about this stage, we are referring to something like the brooding stage, the grower stage, and also the production stage, depending on the best and also the mind. So in poultry, before you go into poultry, you need to understand what are you going in for and why you are going in for it. With this concept, knowing what you are going in for example, what kind of bed do I want to do? Is it going to be a boiler? Is it going to be layers? Is it going to be turkey? Is it going to be a duck or what? So secondly, what is the game? How long do I want to keep these beds? Why am I going in for this beds? So if you have this picture, that will help you to plan yourself. It's not something you just wake up one morning and say, wow, I have some money, I want to go into poultry. No. If you want to go into poultry and you want to do it in terms of to make profits, then you need to have a good plan. You need to know why you're going in for it. How long do you want to keep this birds? So this will help you plan yourself in poultry management, how you take care of those birds. So let me pick a picture of somebody doing a layer for laying of eggs and also a boiler that he wants to keep just for 6 weeks. Now the techniques are different, the methods are also different. Now for the boiler, if you're doing the boiler, you say you want to do the boiler for 6 weeks, so yeah, boiler starter. After boiler starter, then maybe towards the next, you give them a finisher, depending on the concept. Like I said, it's all about the concept. That time there must be a vision. Also for the layers, if you want to do a layers, it's not something you do like 6 weeks, like just like the same way we did for the boiler. No. Now for the layers, you have to give them food. Maybe if you want to give them chick match or want to give them boiler starter, it's your choice. So you give them those things for like a minimum 7 weeks. Then after 7 weeks, if you want to change, if you have the financial strength, some people do up to 10 weeks. But if you don't have the financial strength, just try and see how you can push it to 7 weeks. After 7 weeks, you change their feed. But you don't just change their feed just like that. But meanwhile, like I said, this is just an introduction. So in that case, you change their feed to grower. Then from grower, when they're about a particular age, depending, there is a concept, there's a method to this thing. You now change it to layer match. Some people prefer to go with pre-layer match before they give them layer match. But like I said, it's all about the concept. There must be a plan and also a timeline. And don't forget, in everything you do in poultry, there should be a reason. Why am I doing it? Don't forget, this reason is very important. Why am I doing it? Or why do they do it? For example, if I change my feed from boiler starter to grower mash, why? If I change my feed from grower mash to layer or pre-layer, why? And if I don't understand the reason why I missed the concept, now let's not forget, poultry management is deep. It's not something you sleep and you wake up and maybe you have one day knowledge and you say, okay, I know about birds. No, it's not that way. There are some technique and there are some environmental factors that affects poultry. Okay, let's look at it from this concept. The local birds, the ones that walks on the street that feed themselves at a particular point, they lay eggs. Talking particularly about the layers bed. Okay, let's look at the layers now. Now, for these local birds, they grow up, they got to a particular stage, they start laying eggs. What happened within that interval that they were not laying eggs? And when they start laying eggs, now they start laying eggs because they've acquired a particular body weight. It's funny because I heard somebody said that birds lay egg if they give a particular injection. Some said if they give a particular feed, they start to lay eggs. No, the answer there is no. When the birds have acquired a particular body weight, that is when they start laying. If they don't acquire that body weight, they don't lay. They must acquire that body weight. Be layer bird, be boiler, be noiler, whatever, dog, turkey, whatever. There's a particular body weight they should attend. Once they attend that body weight, there's nothing stopping them. The eggs will come. And once they reduce that body weight, they stop laying. Now, please, this is one technique you shouldn't play with if you are doing poultry for money. If it's particularly for egg, because now we're talking about the layers. Then later we'll divert to the boiler. But for today's episode, we'll be talking about production. We'll be talking about poultry management on layers. So let's proceed. Now, once these birds start laying eggs, they continue to lay eggs. The minute they notice, okay, I don't want to lay more eggs, I like to cover my eggs, they stop eating the way they used to eat. And once they stop eating the way they used to eat, egg cease automatically. Their laying of eggs cease. Once their laying of eggs cease, the next thing you see the mother comes, they start covering the eggs. When they start covering it for a particular period, when they come outside or they want to eat, if you don't give them food, they have to go and source for their food and water. They rush outside, get their food, rush back again and cover the eggs again. Now, they don't eat much, they just eat little. Once these eggs are hatched and they take these birds out, they still do the same. They don't eat much. But when it comes to a particular point, when they start eating, they will start sending the little chicks off. That means they want to start to lay again. Then they start eating again, and then they have body weight. They acquire that minimum body weight for laying, and then they start laying. So the process starts again in cycle. Take notes. So that by the time I start talking about layer poultry management, you understand the concepts, why your birds are not doing well. Take notes. The video you just watched now is a local fowl that you see walking around with his chicks. Now, like I explained earlier, the same is what happens when you are doing production on egg, that is layers that are producing eggs. Now, let's go back again to what we were talking about, which is the poultry management. Now, poultry management, like I said, is caring for the birds. It has its own contents. For example, one, let's say the pen. Now, when we say pen as a content in poultry management, we talk about the design, the bird house, the design of the bird house, where you house the bird, those chicks. Now, it should be designed in a way that there will be open ventilation. So you be the one to control the amount of air that comes in, the amount of sunlight that enters. Then we talk about the next one, which is the birds. Now, the birds, we have varieties of birds. Either we're talking about broiler, either we're talking about the layers, either we're talking about the turkey, or we're talking about the dog, whatever bird species or bird types you're looking at. We have a particular different species. For the layers, we have the Isabra, we have the Naira, and the black, and we have just a lot of it. So you need to know the nature of the birds, if it's heat resistance kind of bird or it's not heat resistance kind of bird, if it's disease resistance kind of bird, because we have them. So, and each of these birds depends on the environment that you are. If you are in an environment you know that there's a lot of heat there, you need to look for a particular bird that can withstand heat, because heat usually makes them to die. We call it heat stress in poultry, when birds die due to heat. Okay, then we look at the next one, which we talk about their feed. Now, feed for birds is very important. For the feed for birds is very, very important, like I said, because the amount of food they eat, the nutritional value of this feed that they consume tells a lot about the growth of the birds. the vaccine, the medicine they take. Now, for your plan, like I said, to start a poultry, you should have a plan. Now, when you have a plan, now this plan helps you to create this vaccine schedule. The kind of maybe in 3 days time we give them this particular vaccine. In 5 days time we give them this particular vaccine. Now in 7 days time we give them this particular vaccine, and also the kind of medicine you give them, like the multivitamin or whatever kind of drugs you think is necessary to keep them at a particular stage of their life. Environment also plays an important role. Now we talk about the environment. So depending on your environment, where you are, even in a sunny environment, you try to ensure that you put some certain things that will be conducive for the bird. Remember, it's all about the birds. You need to ensure that they are conducive wherever they are. Then we talk about security is safe. We have some dangerous microorganisms that can result to dangerous diseases, and those kind of disease that once they break out like that, you lost more than 50% of your beds. So the area of biosecurity is also necessary to take care. So you need to ensure that there is disinfectant, and though we'll not be talking about that for now, it's a topic on its own. Even though I said that poultry is simple, but there is some delicacy in it. Let me use the word. If you don't pay attention to your birds, this is what will happen. They fall sick, they die. You lose money for every bird that dies. You have more birds, you have more money. One bird die, you lose some amount of money. Let me explain. I have a bird with me that is supposed to lay egg for another 300 days. Let me say so. 300 days is supposed to lay egg for me, and then the bird die. Now, for that particular bird to die, how many eggs have I lost? Because I lost the bird, because I didn't pay attention to that bird. Do you understand? If I lost that egg, I've lost money. It's all about numbers. Somebody told me that long time ago. Poultry is about numbers, and it's true. It's about numbers. The more birds you have, the more money you have, the more you ensure they don't die. You don't gamble in poultry. Ensure you have basic things. Like I said, first, if you don't pay attention, then you lose money. If you try to play smart, you lose money. Once you tell your bird you are stupid, you lose money. You want to play intelligent on the birds, you lose money. You don't play gamble. What you give is what you get. You give them shaft, you get shaft. You give them love, you get love. You listen, they listen to you in their own way. Yeah, they do listen to you. It's funny, right? Okay, let's not talk too much about that, but let's just go deep. Okay, now this is what happens once you don't pay attention to it. You lose money. How do you lose money? They fall sick. Once they fall sick, they reduce their body weight. Once their body weight is reduced, they stop laying. Once they stop laying, you lose money. You have to buy drugs. That's one. Two, the environment is dirty. They are being attacked by rats. If there's rats there, now those rats comes, they disturb snakes, anything that comes to attack. They attack those birds, they die. Second, anything that makes them uncomfortable. Your job is to make sure that the environment is comfortable. Once they're not comfortable, you lose money. Make sure they are comfortable. If the environment is hot, make it cool. Yeah, once they have feathers, they need cool environment. I didn't say cold environment. I say cool environment. There's a difference. Cool and cold. They need a cool environment. What's the environment? A place where they could just stay and be able to walk. Once the temperature is much, they find it at ease. You see them open their mouth, they are panting, they are breathing from their mouth. It's a sign that that place is hot. Yes, that place is hot. They are not conducive. You find something to do at that time. Because once they are not conducive, they don't eat. They don't eat, they lose weight. Don't forget the aim thing. food they must eat. Don't gamble with their food. Don't gamble with their medicine. You gamble with those two, on your own, oh, on your own, believe me, because the best are going to tell you in their own way that you've gambled. Because the first rule of poultry is thou shalt not gamble. Unless you're doing it in local way, then you leave them, then they go and source for their food. So that one you are just doing it. But if you are doing it in a commercial way that you want to make money, thou shalt not gamble. I know of somebody that had a plan, wanted to run a poultry or was running a poultry, but there was no plan, financial plan. Maybe he had some little money, but he didn't plan everything down. Something happened because when the need came, or let me use the word, when the necessity came, there was no money to get one or two things, so it affected. Poultry is not something we gamble with. People lose money. Second, if you don't pay attention to them, it's very, very painful. When you see your money go down, it's very, very painful. Believe me, it hurts. It looks like things are falling apart. Then the next thing we start looking for who to blame. But if we pay attention to these things, these birds, we'll be very, very happy that we even started it. People don't know how. There are many benefits from poultry. Apart from the eggs, their waste, their byproducts, that's their poo. Some sell it as manure. Yeah, please don't forget to subscribe and also click the like button. If you've not done that, please, I think this is the best time you should do it. Just pause a little, go down below there, you see a like button and click on the like button, and also help us to share this message at least to friends, families, especially for those that wants to do poultry or those that are already running poultry, so they could have at least one or two things to benefit. And if there is anything on poultry you think you'd like us to discuss, even if it's the medical part of it, just let us know. We'll discuss on it with you. Then you send your message and then we have a one-on-one talk. See ya.